Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a little bit since I actually sat down in front of my camera and talked airsoft. Actually, it's been a good little bit. I have had a chance to go airsoft, thankfully, so my airsoft fix has been met for at least a little bit. We do have a game coming up out here at Nighthawk, I think February 17th, so a little under a month from now. So unfortunately, my airsoft fix doesn't get met as often as it needs to, but sitting down in front of the camera and talking airsoft does help a little bit. And I hope you guys enjoy it too. So this is a gun I've talked about before. I actually tried to sell it a little while ago, and for some reason, no one wanted it. I got one trade offer for like a King Arms M4, and I'm like, I don't really want another M4. So I kept it and put a little more money and time into it, actually a lot more time. And this is what it turned out to be. This is my Marui Sig 551. And some of you guys, after I kind of tell you the story behind it and everything I put into it, you might disagree that it's fully a Marui, because honestly, the externals are mostly JG. And that was the best I can do, because basically Marui Sig 551s, basically a lot of Marui guns don't exist anymore, especially the 551, 550, all those. They're long, long gone. I lucked out and found a shop in the area, Precision, and he had a bunch of stuff in the back. He had probably 80-90% of Marui 551. I wish I'd picked up more than I did, but oh well. I ended up getting the entire lower with the burst marking lower and everything, the stock. I got actually a couple of those, couple full gearboxes, Handguard. I didn't pick up the outer barrel, which I wish I had, and the front sight. He actually had the little electronic burst unit the original 551 used. I have no idea if it's working or not. I didn't want to mess with it at all. I kind of prefer just the standard semi full auto and safe and whatever. I kind of wish I had, just to mess with it and just say, hey, I've got a piece of history, but oh well. I may pick it up later if you still got it, but it's not a big deal at the moment since I got this working. So kind of the parts that went into this. The original gun that I got, the lower was Marui, the gearbox is Marui, the grip, the stock, and that was mostly what I had. I had a couple of plastic uppers. I really wanted a metal Sig though. I'd had enough plastic Sigs, I've owned a couple of those, and I'm like, I really want something a little more solid feeling, because no matter what, even if you get the Marui or like a classic Army like Sportline or whatever nice plastic version you get, it creaks no matter what. And so I was able to get actually E-Vike. I lucked out and they had a bunch of JG parts. I was kind of surprised. This is the blowback model full metal body, so from a JG Sig 552. I ended up getting the upper and the lower, and they fit together without the gearbox and the outer barrel in really, really nicely. But once you put it all together, I found that the Marui stock that I had, which is this thing right here, you can kind of see the discoloration between the body and the stock itself here. The spec, as best I could tell, is a little bit different between the two. So I actually had to machine or more like sand down the lower on this so it would actually fit properly with the stock, and a little bit of the upper too, because they were just off enough that when you put them together, the front here would actually separate just a few millimeters, and you couldn't by hand press it back together to put the front pin in and secure the whole gun together. So it took a little bit of work machining that and checking and going back and guessing and checking and just getting it all to fit together. So that took a little bit of work. Now, like I said, the stock is Marui, the grip is still Marui. It's nice, shiny plastic. Same with the stock. It's not the greatest plastic in the world, but I have a spare just in case it breaks or has issues or something. I just have the one mag right now. It's a JG, like 200 rounder, roughly. I just bought it to chrono with. I wasn't sure at the time when I ordered a bunch of parts if I was going to keep it or not, or sell it. So I just ordered one mag. I might invest in more in the future, depending on how I like the gun, how it feels, and things like that. This handguard, I believe I've said before, is actually from a Cybergun Sig 556. So it's essentially a 551 length. I was actually mistaken before when I said 550. I tried to find a 55 or 550 handguard, and those are actually kind of tough to find. I found a few on the internet, but I don't want to drop 40 or $5 on it right now. It's a little much, and I've got this working the way I want it to right now. So handguard, it's nice to actually have some rails on here just in case I want to throw something on, but I do like the slicker design, the kind of smaller, skinnier design of the original handguard. So it's kind of a plus. It's kind of a give and take for me. But it was kind of a weird story getting this outer barrel set up here. So Evike, they have both the, what they say are the 5.52 and the 5.51 outer barrel. They're actually the 5.50 and the 5.51. Their links and their designations are incorrectly labeled on their website. I really wish they would fix them because I ordered the wrong one. So I ordered the 5.51. It turned out to be the 5.50. Obviously, I don't have a 5.50 handguard, and it actually came bent. It was actually like the front was skewed up. So this is a two-piece outer barrel, actually more or less two pieces, a lot of pieces. But this screws onto a long black tube that's inside the handguard here, and the threading on that was bent up slightly. So I was able to actually salvage this portion of the outer barrel, and they were kind enough to refund me shipping and price, which is only $8 on that 5.50 outer barrel because it was on sale. They were kind enough to refund that to me, which is about $25 roughly with shipping. So I was able to order my 5.51 length outer barrel, the correct one, which is currently labeled the 5.52, just for reference on their website. So that all fit together. I was able to kind of swap the front portion of it so I didn't have to chop the barrel down, because out here at college, I don't have all my parts out here because of storage limitations. So I don't have any M4 length barrels that would fit the front end of this with the flash hider being right here. So I've got that for later on, actually, just in case I want to throw different parts on here. But the inner barrel does go right to the flash hider. Now, something I will note right now, this is kind of a weird outer barrel. It's actually a 12 millimeter positive outer barrel. So there's threading right here for this portion and threading under the flash hider, which is no orange tip, not glued on, just threaded, and it's got a little grub screw under it to hold it down. Other than that, it's kind of a weird setup. I've heard you can get an MP7 thread adapter from 12 to 14 mil and it'll fit. I haven't tried it myself, but if you guys want to try it, go for it. Now, this is the Sig 550 outer barrel I originally got. Originally, like I said, it had the longer end portion on there. I kind of swapped that with the 551, and I can kind of see still where it's bent. You can kind of look at it there. It is a little bent, but you can't really tell as much with this setup. But this was only $8 on Evike. They're normally 40, so pretty good sale on there. You can see the length difference. Actually, they're roughly the same length the way I have them set up. So you can see that with the longer outer barrel on the 5.51 length outer barrel here, or the 5.50 length, sorry, would be quite a bit longer. So cool there. I was actually really happy the way I got it set up. I didn't have to really modify anything. It just some parts transfers took a little bit, and that was about it. It shoots great now, and it actually looks really cool. I like it. Internally, it's actually pretty well upgraded. I'm surprised. The two gearboxes I got from Precision in his little back warehouse there had a number of really kind of old retro upgrade parts in them. One had a total garter setup. We're talking, well, not the gears. It was just kind of a part setup. It wasn't one of their full tune-up kits upgrades, but had the garter steel cylinder head. I'm not a fan of those because they're very heavy. I ended up swapping that out for a plastic one, and it gets a pretty good air seal, and I'm confident the gearbox shell will last longer with that in there. Garter steel bearing ported piston head, or I think it was aluminum. I'm pretty sure it's aluminum, not steel. Scratch that. Kept the original piston, corrected AOE with sorbo pad, of course. Garter bearing spring guide, which is nice to have in there. Garter 6mm steel bushings, because Marui, they still come with the nylon bushings. They work, but if you're going to upgrade it at all, you really need to upgrade those. Shooting 280, they're fine, not a big deal. They're actually slicker than like your steel bushings, so I've been told. I think I put like roughly a 100 M100 spring in there. It was just out of my spring box. I originally had a Garter 120 in here, and this thing's shooting like 450 FPS. It was way too hot. I could run it as a DMR if I wanted, but I didn't have any mid counts for the local field because they require mid counts for DMR, and it was shooting right at the limit, which is not a big deal. It just didn't have the range I wanted it to. I could definitely upgrade it more because it did have the original Marui hop-up, bucking, and barrel in here, and it shoots stupid accurate, but I just wanted a little more range if I was going to DMR it. So I dropped a 100 spring in here roughly, and it's shooting right about 360, 370 FPS, which is fine for a field rifle. I haven't had a chance to test it yet because obviously I'm at college and that doesn't fly around here. Well, so I have to wait till February 17th, which is about 3 weeks roughly, give or take, before I can actually test the range on this. So looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun. And also have it wired to Dean's, of course, so I can use all my batteries and everything like that. So this is my Tokyo Marui / GG Sig 551. It's been a lot of fun building it, actually, and you guys can hear the train out there. Get a lot of those lately. It's been a lot of fun putting this together, getting everything to work out, and it sounds fantastic. I'm really happy with it. Still not 100% sure if I'm going to keep it, sell it, what's going to happen to it, but for now, it's in my collection. And I wish I could get a hold of more Sigs, because they're actually a lot of fun. Like Marui's, Sigs, and SR25s are kind of my main 3 guns. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Prouder Chief from Kilo 23, and I'll catch you guys next time.